At first glance, Bhutan and Denmark present two completely diverse nations, progressing at a vastly different pace of development. Their acute dissimilarities accentuated further by the physical spans of oceans and continents that lie between. To the northern part of Europe, flanked by Sweden, Norway, and Germany, the Kingdom of Denmark is an advanced economy with 406 islands and a population of 5.6 million. As one of the world's oldest monarchies, it carries the legacy of a vibrant history dating back to the Vikings in 900 AD. On the other side of the world, nestled in the vast Himalayas, the Kingdom of Bhutan is a small, landlocked and developing nation which opened its doors to the rest of the world only in the late 1960s. Bhutan is steeped in cultural wealth and natural heritage, possessing a soul and identity as large as its giant neighbors, India and China. Yet despite insurmountable differences, both nations are linked by underlying commonalities that bind them together. As two monarchies, Denmark and Bhutan share a great passion in investing in human capital and welfare, for which they are recognized globally. Bhutan is increasingly known for its guiding development philosophy of gross national happiness, which places the well-being of its people above economic growth. And Denmark has made immense strides as a strong welfare state under the Scandinavian welfare model.
I think the best explanation is that we have a great deal of confidence in each other. We have no corruption, and we have great confidence in the police and the justice system. We believe that everyone is treated fair.
Denmark is often cited as one of the best nations in the world to live in, and was ranked the happiest nation in the world by the UN in April 2012. Equality of opportunity and supportive policies for a conducive work-life environment with flexible working conditions has been instrumental in building a strong level of participation of women in governance.
One of the reasons that we are number one as the most happiest country is also gender equality, and I think that's very important, because it's important having both men and women engaging in society, in work life, and actually also in the domestic life, in the home, and taking care of the children.
In 2011, Denmark elected its first female prime minister, Helle Thorning-Schmidt, and after 100 years since its women's suffrage movement, has a significant 40% representation of women in parliament. Bhutan is one of the world's youngest democracies. Unlike its compatriots, democracy in Bhutan was a sacred gift that emanated from the Golden Throne. In 2008, Bhutan held its first ever parliamentary elections, making the transition to a democratic constitutional monarchy. Although women and girls constitute 51% of the population and enjoy a greater status compared to their counterparts in the region, they currently constitute only 14% representation at the national parliamentary level. Karma Lhamo from the Eastern District in Bhutan is one of the 4 elected women parliamentarians from the Druk Phuntsum Tsokpa Party, or DPT. Her constituency, Mongar, is an impoverished and largely rural district suffering from poverty and low educational coverage.
In general, people feel that politics is the game of rich people. They feel that like children of the farmers, especially from the rural areas, from the remote areas, like they cannot able such opportunities. I wanted to clear that misconception. So even during my campaign, I used this strategy. I always said I came forward just to show the example to my girls.
de ngagi ta chugi de hemale mabu bindi ngadi namseme rochila to de ngada ngudi dele da mogi de nemegi de yo na ju de tama chama chuba chinde chunare chung de ai nga chi ngudi de 대시 내가 침사 속에 람베 대 남섬에 사자 배몽고 대대 남섬에 인가 미세 대 로치이 저희가 래 아츠지 내가 제 세바세 가오면 아니 얘네라.
As for the upper house elections, Sangay Zam, who was previously an educator, is the National Council representative for the capital city Thimphu.
All our life, for 25 years, we've been telling children to have a dream in their pocket and reach out for the stars and things like that, And then when these democratic changes were coming about, so much change, and I wasn't just going to stand out there and watch the change happen,
Well, we've been discussing this politics on a number of occasions. And that time we were in Fitzling. And then as this political fever was developing, so we said, why not?
While there's support for women's empowerment from the Royal Government of Bhutan, and national policies highlight the importance of encouraging wider women's participation, today only 5% of Bhutanese women are represented at the local government level, most of whom occupy the lowest ranking post of tsokpa or community representatives.
So I think there's a lot we need to do to encourage women to join politics. This is why when I heard about the La Amlenchen project, I thought it's a wonderful opportunity to see how other countries have so successfully brought the women in the folds of the governance. And Denmark, for many reasons, is the obvious choice.
The generation before me, there were some women there who really were strong, and they went out in the public and they spoke about women's issues. They said, I'm not going to have children because I can't make it fit in with my political career. And that actually sparked a public debate about, is that fair?
The key is to make the issue political, because that was one of the phrases used by the women's movement ways back, that it's not the individual's problem, it's a political problem. Because if it's only the individual's problem, then it's almost impossible for the individual to overcome.
8 months after the first local government election results were declared, a national consultation workshop of elected women representatives was organized by the National Commission for Women and Children with support from the Danish Institute for Parties and Democracy and UN Women. One of the reasons why Danish women can play a greater role across decision-making levels can be largely attributed to the fact that Denmark has a widespread and good institutionalized daycare system.
We have the daycare institutions, which means that you have the possibility to be on the labor market even though you're a female. That you have this kind of after-school nurturing possibility for kids. So I think in general we have it from the kids are very small to they are grown, that the society in general takes care together with the parents of the children.
I think it's also make it more easy for women to join politics, because it's being a politician, you can see it as just another job compared to other jobs you could have had as a woman.
For a young democracy like Bhutan, the first challenge is ensuring that the numbers of women interested and able to contest are given the necessary platform.
I think in a democratic society, the parliament should be representative for the population. So I cannot think of a male-dominated parliament as being democratic. And ask the men if they would accept if all the parliamentarians were women.
When discussing the empowerment of women in politics, the issue of affirmative action through quota reservation remains a controversial issue worldwide. The debate has commenced to some degree in Bhutan.
The quota di yovachin ngachi lejim onime di lejim imbe simi tsa labya tunamela. So this is yes for quota, yes for reservation, yes for temporary measure. It's almost all, no?
Well, it's taken 100 years to get where we are today, where we are not totally equal, but more equal than before. So I think that's a long process. I think using quotas, you can speed up that process.
We also have to change the mindset that men are not supposed only to do this and this and this, and women are not supposed only to do this and this and this.
The word quota seems to make everybody, what should I say, a lot get angry about the quota system and say it's not fair or anything like that. But I mean, of course, if you should want to have a development faster than natural, then you have to have goals.
Across the world, whether women should play a more active role in politics is no longer a matter of discussion, and for countries such as Denmark, there has been evidence that women's empowerment in the political sphere has been critical to its success in sustainable development.
I would argue that the reason why we are such a rich society in economic terms is, we do not have the oil and as Norway do, or the big companies as Sweden do. But it's because we have a very, very industrious workforce, but both men and women are working very hard. I think we actually has got the highest percentage in the world of women working.
However, whether and how political parties in Bhutan can identify and convince eligible female candidates to contest remains to be seen. Bhutanese women with triple responsibilities of home, children, and work continue to view politics as a sacrifice rather than an opportunity.
The reality of the situation is such that if you want women to take part, a more productive part in society, besides being a mother, so we have to create a conducive working environment for women. And this is actually already under a serious discussion in the government.
Today, in preparation for the 2013 elections, political parties, new and old, have realized the value of equal representation and enrolling more female candidates in their ranks.
Women are a political asset. I think people have to realize that. The party with more women immediately have a political advantage over other parties, because they can reach out to more than half the population.
As a young democracy, Bhutanese authorities and citizens all have a great responsibility to deepen and sustain the democratic process and to carry forward a gift bestowed by our visionary monarchs.
After meeting the women leaders in Denmark, I'm totally convinced that you need not be a superwoman. You can be a normal woman, down to earth, a loving mother, and still take up leadership roles.
And as Denmark has demonstrated, the key to achieving this is creating an enabling and conducive environment for its women to enjoy equal involvement at all levels of governance. More importantly, this must then be sustained through political conviction. These are vital lessons for Bhutan as we pursue a true gross national happiness society.